Texas Democrats had their party's biennial convention this past weekend. I'm not sure they put their best messages forward, or maybe they did. This is Monday, June 29th, 2026.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Thanks for kicking off your week with the Texas Minute. A Democrat on the State Board of Education is trying to silence a Republican for criticizing her. More on that story coming up. Just weeks after the Texas GOP had its own state convention, Texas Democrats convened in Corpus Christi on Friday, but Republicans ensured they maintained a visible presence throughout the city. Among other things, Governor Greg Abbott's campaign bought billboards on the major routes into the city, criticizing what Republicans describe as the Democrats' radical agenda. Abbott's campaign also distributed breakfast tacos with names like the Veggie Tallarico and Open Border Brisket. A selection called Democrat Promises consisted of an empty tortilla. Outside the convention center, the governor had a longhorn wearing a Don't Buy the Bull banner, and it drew attention and mixed reactions depending on the political persuasion of the passerby. The Democrats did little to project a confident picture of themselves. Their official convention materials, for example, inexplicably left off the names of their candidates for governor, attorney general, and comptroller. The Democrat nominee for Land Commissioner, Benjamin Flores, tried to rally his base by urging them to stand with the party's senatorial nominee, James Tallarico. Here's what Mr. Flores had to say.
Next time they say that James is trans, we're all trans. When they say James is a gay tofu-eating vegan, we're all gay tofu-eating vegans. And when they say James is going to hell, we'll say we're all going to hell.
The November 3rd general election is 128 days away. The Cypress Fairbanks Independent School District Board of Trustees approved a $1.25 billion budget for the upcoming 2026-27 school year. The district says the spending comes from $508 million in local tax revenue, more than $650 million in state cash, and $6.7 million from federal and other sources. It is nonetheless projecting an $81 million deficit. To cover that deficit, the district is likely to be asking voters in November to increase their property taxes. Meanwhile, Cy-Fair lost more than 3,200 students in a single year, a decline the district had expected to unfold over a much longer period. Republican State Board of Education member Julie Pickering has fired back after Democrat SBOE member Marissa Perez-Diaz sent a cease and desist letter intended to silence criticism. The Democrat is upset that Pickering called her a Marxist in social media posts. Earlier this month, Pickering published a photo of Perez-Diaz who, when being sworn in back in January without a Bible, did so with a clenched fist in the air, long a symbol of radical Marxism. Pickering described Perez-Diaz as a, quote, Marxist Democrat. Perez-Diaz is demanding that Pickering remove anything she has ever said about the Democrat, as well as any photos of Perez-Diaz making the Marxist hand sign while being sworn in. Pickering's lawyer said the Republican will not remove a thing and has vowed to continue engaging in protected political speech. As will we. The Texas Minute will be right back.
Hey folks, Chris Salcedo here. I've got something special for you, the Salcedo Storm podcast. As your friendly, liberty-loving Latino, I bring you a mix of engaging discussions to help us fight for our state and our conservative values. It's the perfect way to stay informed and engaged in what's happening around you. So, What are you waiting for? Don't miss out on the storm of information and entertainment coming your way. The Salcedo Storm Podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Texas Supreme Court has ruled that detransitioner Soren Aldalco's medical malpractice suit can continue after it was dismissed by a lower court for being filed too late. Aldalco is now in her early 20s. She's seeking over $1 million in damages from a transgender clinic after she reportedly underwent a botched double mastectomy as a teenager as part of a so-called gender transition. She says the surgery was prompted by a counselor's recommendation letter full of false information about her gender identity. She has since detransitioned both, quote, medically and ideologically. The trial court concluded that her claims were time-barred under the Texas Medical Liability Act, a centerpiece of the tort reform movement which required her claims to have been filed within 2 years of the incident. The district and appellate courts determined she had missed the deadline by several months, by them dating her injury not to the surgery, but rather several months earlier when the counselor's letter was written. On Friday, the Supreme Court rejected the lower court's rationale, finding that the 2-year period could start running only after the actual injury occurred with the surgery. As such, the case is being sent back to the lower court to proceed on the merits. You can keep up with the latest news impacting the Lone Star State by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was produced by Nick Shepard and based on the original reporting of Brandon Waltons, Michael Wilson, Grant Hawk, and Travis Morgan. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Now, go make it a great day.